Bank of America account data shows the total number of Americans picking up stakes has actually halved since 2021. Yet, despite fewer people moving, the national map is restructuring at high speed. To see the shift, look at the traditional heavyweights. Residents are abandoning historic coastal giants like San Francisco, Los Angeles, and New York in numbers that far outweigh those arriving. The math driving this exit is based on a massive cost gap. Securing a median-priced home in the Bay Area requires a monthly housing payment of roughly $7,800. In more affordable, tech-friendly markets, that cost drops to around $3,200. Beyond the economics, there is a mounting environmental and cultural toll. Professionals are trading away high-pressure office cultures and grueling commutes, while increasingly reassessing their housing choices based on the region's exposure to wildfire risk. This chart tracks domestic migration flows for Los Angeles. If we look at the outbound traffic on the right, we see a heavy volume of residents routing directly into other cities in the west and down into the south. Extreme financial barriers paired with emerging environmental crises are changing the calculation. Young professionals are increasingly deciding that the traditional dream of the coastal metropolis is no longer worth the price of entry. These movers are finding an alternative in welcomer cities. These mid-sized metros offer a combination of high-paying tech jobs and a massive discount on the daily cost of living. Austin is a primary example. While housing is more affordable, the city retains a vibrant culture and high-tech salaries. Many companies here encourage more traditional work hours and flexibility, prioritizing a balance that historic tech hubs often lack. Denver offers a different kind of pull. It has matured into a Mountain West alternative for those fleeing pricier coastal hubs, offering immediate access to national parks and ski resorts at a lower price point. Denver's migration data confirms this magnetic appeal. Nearly 4 out of every 5 newcomers arrive from the West and the South, cashing out of expensive markets to upgrade their proximity to the outdoors. With major players like Tesla, Oracle, and Dell now established in these markets, the professional distance between the coast and the welcomer city has largely closed. Movers can now pursue the same high-level career goals without the crushing financial anxiety. It's tempting to picture Americans blindly throwing darts at a map and scrambling cross-country, but Bank of America data shows a pattern of regional stickiness. This migration diagram captures the sheer volume of New Yorkers moving out for better value. Following the outbound flows on the right, exiting residents favor familiar geographic corridors. They shift slightly south to Philadelphia to ease rent, or head to Miami for warmer weather. This regional focus holds true across the country. When Angelenos hit their breaking point with housing, they rarely pack up for the East Coast. Instead, they trade Los Angeles for nearby hubs like Las Vegas, Phoenix, or Dallas. Modern migration isn't an abandonment of home roots. It is a calculated regional optimization, where people stretch their paychecks without surrendering the cultural familiarity of their home region. But as the first wave of welcomer cities becomes more expensive, Gen Z and young professionals are looking even further across the country for a place to put down roots. This search has triggered a migration boom in the Midwest. Metros like Indianapolis and Columbus are seeing a surge of interest from young professionals. The attraction is practical. Homes here are up to 30% cheaper than on the coasts, and a massive surge in data center construction is providing the high-paid tech infrastructure jobs needed to build long-term wealth. This bar chart shows net population growth across major MSAs. The top growth spots are currently dominated by the Midwest, with Indianapolis and Columbus consistently leading the list. Gen Z is proving that innovation hubs don't require a coastal zip code. They are actively moving to the Midwest because it's a region where they can afford to buy a home and build a life. The American economic map is a living life cycle. Once a more affordable alternative attracts enough high-earning talent, it eventually matures into an expensive hub itself. Austin's migration data perfectly illustrates this maturation. The city balances heavy inbound and outbound traffic. Inbound, Austin pulls tech workers from the coasts and within Texas. But looking at the outbound flow on the right, rising costs push locals towards smaller, cheaper southern cities. The historical requirement to live in a handful of specific coastal zip codes to work for a tech giant has largely dissolved. We are watching a constant, calculating reshuffle. Professionals no longer look for one single dominant hub. They are searching for a welcomer city in their own region that finally balances the math of their paycheck with the reality of their lifestyle.